Hey guys, welcome to my new movie review. Today I'm going to be telling you about Good Will Hunting. It is a Gus Van Sant classic. It was nominated for several Academy Awards back when this came out. And I believe Robin Williams and a couple of other categories that year did win for this film. And like I said, once again, this is a Gus Van Sant film. Um, and probably one of his more well-known films as well. Good Will Hunting is about a young janitor at a really prestigious college or university, if you want to call it that. And he's very skilled in mathematics, but he doesn't really apply himself too much in life, and um, he kind of just goes for the job that's simplistic, and he knows how to get it right away. But he does have this very hidden talent for math. He's one of these few in a million who can do almost any math problem and he can solve it right away. He's just a very intelligent person. He knows a lot about history and just all this other stuff that you learned in school and college. And he's good friends with a character played by Ben Affleck, and Casey Affleck's in this film as well, who's also one of the friends in kind of this big group of friends that he has. They're kind of troublemakers. They're kind of unlike Will Hunting, who is Matt Damon's character, who we follow throughout this film. Unlike him, they're not as intelligent as he is. They kind of earned their placing, I guess you could say. They're not very intelligent kids. They kind of just go for the minimum, just kind of find a job that they can get hired into, simply because their academic level and their knowledge is just simply not as good as Will Hunting's is. Once again, played by Matt Damon. Um, so basically, eventually, without giving any spoilers away, because I know this is an older film, but at the same time, I don't want to give any spoilers away. Um, Basically, a professor at this university notices Will's basically kind of his hidden talent, you can say. And so basically, he needs him to basically help come up with like solutions to these mathematical theories that he's been working on for several years. And with Will's instant mathematical talent, he can probably figure these things out really quickly. But Will Hunting has a lot of problems that we learn about him throughout the course of the film. So he basically gets the psychologist played by Robin Williams, and he kind of helps Will out. Will's having trouble with this relationship with this woman played by Minnie Driver, and there's just a lot of other stuff going on that Will isn't really comfortable talking about with people, and you'll find out towards the end of the film, all very much so exactly why Will Hunting is the way he is, and kind of why he's kind of hidden himself away from people with his talents and kind of just does the minimum and doesn't want to go for the gold medal, I guess you could say, when it comes to like big careers and using his skill set to the best of his potential. So overall, guys, I did really enjoy Good Will Hunting. I could see why a lot of people really enjoy this film. For those who love Gus Van Sant, you're going to love this film. A lot of stuff that he's done in other films, like, keep this golden contemporary look in his films. He does this quite a bit in his other work as well. It's very present here in Good Will Hunting. So, like I said, if you love Gus Van Sant, this is definitely one worth checking out. And if you like Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Minnie Driver, or Robin Williams, once again, very much worth checking out. So, for my positives and negatives of Good Will Hunting, its messages on experience, skill sets, and living life to the fullest are all very powerful here. The film does a very good job, with Robin Williams' character. He has a lot of experiences and things. Um, there's something I don't want to give away, with him and Matt Damon that went on, in both of their lives during their childhood that, Matt Damon can really connect with this guy with. And, skill sets and just living life to the fullest, because there's just a lot of really honest conversations with Williams and Damon throughout the film about, how Damon really isn't using his skill set to his fullest potential. And Robin Williams tells him, there's no reason for him to hold back this talent that he has and to really find this really good job that Will could have over this janitor job that he's just so happened to find. Another big positive of Good Will Hunting is Matt Damon's performance, Ben Affleck's performance, and Robin Williams' performance. All three of them give terrific performances here. So once again, if you love all three actors, definitely see this film just for that. If you love all three of them or just one of them, you won't be disappointed because their performances are really good in this movie. And like I was saying earlier, if you love Gus Van Sant, his gold and contemporary film tone that he seems to use a lot is very present here. And I think it really works well with Good Will Hunting because there's a lot of scenes in here that take place during autumn. So the golden leaves falling from the trees, and and Will and Robin Williams are meeting up somewhere outside of his office and things like that. Just really beautiful environments that they film in here. Outside these really prestigious universities. Just a really neat film tone that this film had going for it. And then another big positive of this film is the film's intelligent dialogue, I should say. Just really intelligent dialogue and back and forths between characters. Robin Williams and Matt Damon really have a good talent with this, as far as back and forth with intelligent dialogue. And I guess this other back and forth really isn't so much intelligent, just as much as it's, just smart writing for a screenplay or for a film. That's, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's kind of their street talk growing up in Boston kind of conversations. Um, Once again, just really intelligent dialogue in this film. So Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, who also wrote the screenplay for this film, did a very good job writing the back and forth between characters when it comes to dialogue in this movie. But for my negatives of Good Will Hunting, it's not quite the perfect film you heard of, and here's kind of why, at least in my opinion anyway. I thought the Matt Damon and Minnie Driver relationship felt rushed, strange, and typical. It felt rushed because, it just kind of out of the blue happened, and not for really a good reason, I don't think. It was a strange relationship because, like they would be eating burgers and they would like be like, Minnie Driver would chew on pickles and put it in Will's mouth and just really strange stuff that, not a lot of people that early in a relationship or a friendship would do with other people. And it was just kind of typical too because they have fights and they do this and they find their little niches with each other and just stuff we've seen millions of times before in other relationships and other films. So the not so much that Matt Damon and Minnie Driver gave bad performances, and not so much that they had bad chemistry in this movie. I just, like I said, once again, the relationship felt rushed. It felt like they didn't spend a lot of time coming up with something clever with these two people for this relationship. And like I said, it just felt strange and just kind of unrelatable after a while. And it was just typical because any film that takes on a relationship between a man and a woman does a lot of this stuff already. So for me, the relationship part of this film didn't quite work as well as I'm sure Matt Damon and Ben Affleck intended to for this movie. And then my other negative was I thought Robin Williams' character was introduced too late in the film, and I say that because his role in this I think is very important, almost as important as Will Hunting himself. And I felt they kind of introduced him too late. To the point where like it was a good, I would say a good 45, 50 minutes into the movie until we actually see Robin Williams show up in something. And like I said, because his character was so important, I thought they should have introduced him later, or introduced him earlier. I'm sorry, just because he was such important to this movie, and it would be kind of interesting to see what was going on in his life before the whole Will Hunting thing came up. And unfortunately, he just kind of doesn't jump into the screenplay at all until the screenplay needs him. And I also felt his character should have had more screen time. Once again, that could have gone back to the idea of um, informing us what he was doing before the whole Will Hunting thing happened. They briefly talk about it between him and the Stellan Skarsgard character. I guess they were roommates at one point in their lives. But I just really would have liked to have seen a bigger incorporation of this character just because I love the character so much. I love Robin Williams' portrayal of this character so much. And, anybody who's seen this film or is going to see this film is going to realize just how big of a role this character was. And I like I said, I think Robin Williams did win an Academy Award for this movie, and for good reason. There's a lot of really touching moments with him and Will Hunting in this movie. But like I said, once again, I think his character should have had more screen time overall. Good Will Hunting, though, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It is a very well done movie. But like I said, I thought the Matt Damon and Minnie Driver relationship didn't quite work as well as I'm sure it'll work for other people in this movie. And I thought the Robin Williams character was introduced a little bit too late than I would have preferred. And I thought his character could have used more screen time because it is such an important role for this story. So, like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for me. Please see this film. It is very good. But at the same time, I don't think it's quite the 9 or 9.5 out of 10 film that we may have gotten if those two negatives I brought up could have been improved upon. But like I said, great film. If you love Robin Williams and Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, you got to see it. It is really well done. Huge thumbs up for Good Will Hunting. Please see this movie.